This is Jack White with the Capital District Growth Team and another Monday morning message. We have a very special guest today, Rob Parker, who is the CEO of Kiwanis International. Are you there, Rob?
I am. Good morning, Jack.
Good morning to you. And we have actually two of these interviews lined up on some topics. We've been hoping for some time that you would be able to share some things with us. Time is short. Rob, would you start out by telling our listeners what a CEO of Kiwanis is all about, and how do you relate to the elected officers and the elected international board?
You bet, Jack. Actually, I'm the first CEO that Kiwanis has had in 93 years. Prior to that, the chief professional was the executive secretary for the organization and executive director. I would say probably the biggest change is I am a member of the board, an officer of the board, and I deliver for the board on the strategic direction of the strategic plan of the organization. So I'm primarily responsible for the planning, the strategic leadership, the budgeting process, and then oversight for all of the operations, the 130 staff, and then the education and training of our volunteers. So the president is the chief volunteer officer of the organization, and I'm the chief professional, and the two of us work together with the board. I do report directly to the board of directors to deliver on the vision, if you will, and the strategic plan for Kiwanis.
Well, what work background did you have when you took this job with Kiwanis International, and when did you begin your work here?
Yeah, I started here in August of 2006 after spending a career with Boys and Girls Clubs of America.
Oh, so you've been in volunteer work before?
You bet, since right out of college. And my degree is in education and went right into that, and I've been working with volunteers primarily for about 25 years.
Hey, had you ever been a Kiwanian before you came to work with this organization?
You know, I have spoken to dozens of Kiwanis clubs in my experience, and I actually joined another service organization when I was 23, spent about 15 years. So I've been in the service club movement since I was 23 years old, and I am a Kiwanian now. I joined in 2006, and I belong to the Downtown Club in Indianapolis.
Oh, okay, wonderful. When you took over, we all know that there are a lot of challenges facing our local clubs and our districts. What did you see as the main challenges facing you and the Kiwanis organization when you began work there?
Well, Jack,
and what new challenges have arisen since you took over?
Well, you're probably pretty aware of the vision that Kiwanis has to be 1 million members by our 100th birthday in 2015.
Absolutely.
Which is an awesome kind of big, hairy, audacious goal. The reality is that we were facing a 15-year decline in membership. So we want to go up and to the right, and we've been declining for about 15 years. So our biggest challenge was to basically stop the bleeding. The members were going out the back door faster than they were coming in the front door. So a couple of things we needed to do right away was to open that front door wider so we had more coming in, and then begin to take steps to close the back door. And we've made some progress in some of those areas, but continue to have challenges with an aging population, an aging membership. Our average age now is approaching 60.
Oh, really? That much?
Yeah, we're at 58 and a half. And if you go back historically, you'll see that our members were in their 30s, 40s, and 50s when they started the organization, but we've aged over time.
We've grown old together, huh?
We have. In fact, that's an awesome thing about Kiwanis is that if you'll go visit a local club, you'll hear stories about people who've been in for 20 or 30 or 40 years together.
Try 40, almost 45 right here.
There you go. But you know, the other flip side of that is that we have grown old, and we have not. I don't think the doors has been as wide for the 30-year-olds behind us to come in.
Well, I think most clubs say they want them, but what do they need to do to get them in from your perspective?
Well, from my perspective, I think all the things that we do unintentionally that send a message that they're not welcome, I do believe that they're all unintentional, because so many of us want younger members, and we feel that. But I think there are small things that we do, messages that we send, by not making our clubs relevant to them, by not talking about the things that they're interested in their season of life, by who we have as speakers, by how we sit together, how we are used to and comfortable with our traditions. There are just a whole lot of little things, not unlike a church or other settings where people need to feel, if they're new, that they're welcome and that they're a part of it. Now, there are some cultural things that we can't do anything about. There is, an issue of how busy people are, how much time they have, and those type of things. But there are, we believe, some things that you can do to make your club more attractive to younger people.
But we're going to talk more about that in the next message. But right now, from what I hear, it doesn't sound like at the end of the day or the week you're worried about having enough to do. Is that right?
We've got just a couple of things to work on.
Yeah, and you have a good-sized staff there at Indianapolis, but I'm sure it's pretty lean compared to for the budget constraints you have.
Well, I tell you, we have one of the things that we're proud of, one of the successes we've had is we've reduced our operating expenses by about $4 million a year since in the 2.5 years that I've been here, which has us operating pretty lean. We've actually improved and increased our services while at the same time decreasing the size of our staff and our investment there, quite frankly, to prepare for the growth initiatives that we're doing. But we're actually out front of the actually, what's turned out to be a pretty good move for us is that we did not know these economic challenges were coming, but we're prepared for it.
Wonderful. Well, let's stop right there, and we'll pick up with some more discussion in our next conversation. This has been a Monday morning message from the growth team of the Capital District with guest Rob Parker. Thank you for listening.